This reading is going to be knowledge to give you inner strength. You can pick this deck, number 1. This deck, number 2. Or this deck for number 3. Alright, number 1. First, I'm going to shuffle 7 times to connect myself with the divine, and then 7 shuffles to connect you to the divine. It's blowing on my incense. Okay, and 7 shuffles to connect you to the divine and see what knowledge will give you inner strength. What knowledge will give number 1 inner strength? I'm hearing like a certain tune in my head. It goes. I don't know what song it is. It sounds familiar. I want to say I've heard it in Celtic. It's like a Christmas song or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm hearing it in my mind in Celtic, in Latin. I can't sing it because it's not in English. I'm sorry. I can only hum the tune for you. I just know I've listened to it around Christmas time before. Alright, so knowledge to give you inner strength. We have let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. I heard deflect, not protect. So maybe you have a tendency to deflect from things as a protection recognition. I heard recognition and mechanism for yourself. Recognize this as a protection mechanism. Sometimes it's hard when there are multiple voices in your head to just hear the one. Just one at a time, if you don't mind today. Marriage, the fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. With this card, I felt as though maybe you were pushing someone in particular away. Like they got too close, or like a defense mechanism. I feel as though maybe you're not feeling so well right now. And so you're just trying to hold on to like what energy you do have. Pregnancy, the birth of a child brings you great. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. I don't get that you're pregnant. I get that you could maybe have some ideas that you question yourself on that consistently nag you, like you really like this person and you keep pushing them away and you're not necessarily sure why. You think it's your intuition, but it's actually fear. I've heard other readers say, and I agree, intuition, your gut instinct whispers, and fear screams. It is different to get like terrified gut instincts. That's like when you feel sick, someone makes you feel sick. And then there's fear where you get like little butterflies. For you, they're just little butterflies. It's not like this person, like you actually feel sick to your stomach around them, like they're gonna do something terrible. Now, you might feel a little sick when you go to speak to them, but that's just because you want things to go well and you're a high anxiety person. You could have a headache right now as well. I just got a headache. Walk away, leave the unhealthy situation, enjoy the new doors that open as a result. It's time to walk away from the constant need to protect yourself and to put yourself in a bubble like it's you against the world. If you really want companionship or partnership, it's supposed to be you and that person versus the world, not you versus them. That's not how it works. All you're doing right now is like alienating yourself. Business venture, trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. It's just a confirmation to stop questioning your ideas and whether or not they are good enough. They are. Otherwise, it wouldn't keep popping within your mind. Usually when something stays within your mind, if it's something bad, it's something you need to heal, like self-criticism, etc. If it's an idea like suddenly you want to start ballet and all you can think of is ballet and you keep thinking, oh, I should really try ballet, then you should try ballet. It doesn't matter what age you are. You could watch a children's video, have fun with it, and you may actually find that you're one of the best ballerinas ever. You never know. That's just an example. I feel like you're being asked to just stop questioning yourself, your abilities, and then like the world around you and start living in it more. Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. I feel like in your case, you may not always understand your own needs. And maybe you want to understand your needs before you try and share yourself with others or what you want, etc. But if you find that you give yourself some time and you still don't know what you need, what you want, then you should at least let other people know, hey, something's off with me. I don't know really what I want or what I need right now. I'm going through something. I just know I'm unwell, and I ask you to be understanding, and should you see something or figure out something from a different perspective, please help me to understand that, because if you're confused and if you can't find the inner knowledge, you must realize that some people who know you very well, like for years, or someone you are intimately involved with, like they may not give you answers you want, but they could give you the answers that you need that will help pull you out of this lack of surrender, out of this questioning yourself. Like, we always say going inward is best, and you know best, and this, that, and the other, and that is true. However, that does not mean stay shut off from the dog just full on put her face in incense. Like, yes, you have inner knowledge. Yes, you have inner guidance. However, if the world were only about learning about yourself, if all knowledge is only within you, then there would be no point in enjoying the journey, looking at the world around you, questioning things in existence, expansion of the mind. Like, there are answers within and without, and I feel like maybe you have forgotten that, and that it is not just your perspective that will give you answers. Otherwise, there would only be, just Buddha. There wouldn't be like Buddha or Gandhi or, a whole string of people. It's kind of like different gods. There wouldn't be, like Zeus, Hades, Sun Ra, Lord Shiva. Like, there are reasons for different beliefs, just like there are different people, different entities. It's the same thing with ideas, with your mind. There's a reason why there are different ideas within your mind, and different perceptions. Even the negative perceptions within will show you answers that will bring you positive solutions, but you must step back from it, not from a personal perspective, but a growth perspective. Be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. Do the things that make you feel good, that make you feel proud of yourself, and even the things that you question about yourself. If you really love to do it, and you're worried someone might judge you, it is not about judgments in life that make us beautiful. It is about the fact that we are brave, bold, and beautiful, and that we strive to be unique and different and share our gifts, our talents, and you should not forget that. On bottom of the deck energy, Sun. Your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. I'm getting that, like, you have some masculine wounds that you're healing at this time. Perhaps you've never had, like, a stable male figure in your life, or a stable male role model, or just your masculine energy is unbalanced at this time. I'm not getting this has anything to do with a child. I don't care if marriage, pregnancy, and son came out. This isn't the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling somebody who's lost their gusto, their fire, their passion, their ambition, their drive. This has a lot to do with male, masculine energy. You always have the yin and the yang, the feminine energy and the masculine energy. You have the energy that's receptive and nurturing and willing to compromise. That's feminine energy. And then masculine energy, you have drive, ambition. You're willing to push through any challenge to keep going. Like, that's masculine energy. I feel like there's some things you don't want to go for, some things you're afraid to do, or some relationships you're afraid to have because you don't feel confident in yourself. You don't feel confident in your abilities. But I want you to know that's your fault for not showing yourself you can do it. Prove yourself wrong. Don't worry about proving anybody else wrong or what anybody else thinks. Prove yourself wrong. Prove to yourself, I actually did this. I didn't think I could do this. I wasn't sure of myself, but I did it. Even if it turns out to be complete and total utter shit. Even if it goes to shit, you can be like, I had the balls to try this, and it made me totally uncomfortable, but I proved to myself I can do things even if I feel like I can't. And that's what this is mainly about. This is the knowledge that you need to know, is that sometimes even if you don't have faith in yourself, when you have that feeling that won't stop, there's a reason for that feeling. Don't stop just because you're worried. Keep going because you're worried. Now, it's one thing if you're in a dangerous situation, like if you're going to jump off a cliff. If you get a feeling like I really shouldn't jump off that cliff, don't jump off the cliff. But if it's like, oh, I don't want to go to that party, I can't dance, I'll feel stupid, I'll feel left out, go anyway. And if people make fun of you and say you can't dance, this, that, and the other, you look at those people and you say, at least I tried to dance and have a good time. What were you there for? Just to watch me? Like, you need to recognize things like that, that if you're not people's whole world, and if you are, you need to ask them, you know, why do you care about me and what I do so much? Am I that important to you? If I am, you should focus on yourself. Remember that. That is the knowledge I have to give you. Inner strength, number one. Many blessings. Number two. First, I will shuffle 7 times to connect with the divine for me. And then I will shuffle 7 times to connect with the divine for you. Interesting, I actually have some left over. Okay, there's 7 for me. Now we'll shuffle 7 times to see what knowledge will give you inner strength. So what knowledge will give number 2 inner strength at this time? For you, I heard believe in the impossible. I heard that as this possibility card popped out. Possibility. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. Which also means raise your expectations. Maybe there's a reason why they didn't want me to say elevate. Maybe you don't feel elevated, but you are more so than you think. You have unlimited potential. You're being told to believe in the impossible because you have created beautiful things that most people wouldn't find possible in their daily life. For example, let's say you bought your own house. Some people never own their own house. Some people rent their entire lives because they feel like they can't buy a house when, you don't know till you try. Actually got a message, a news notification. So I feel like and I got another notification. Okay, I'm going to take that as confirmation as to what I'm about to say. You've recently been given an opportunity, and it's like you're not sure if you can do it, but why would you be given an opportunity if you couldn't do it? Or if there wasn't something there that is supposed to be a lesson or knowledge or something of value to you. imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Like I said, believe in the impossible. Like literally unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities. I mean, how much more in your face could you be? Beloved, prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. Believed that you are this beloved, magical creature with the ability to bend reality to your will. What would your reality look like? And let's say you were given an opportunity. Imagine how amazing this opportunity would be if it went well. Picture it going well. Picturing what happens to make it go well, the things you do, the things other people do. This is technically you manifesting that reality and working on manifesting that reality. Constantly envision beautiful, amazing things, no matter how impossible they seem, and you may find yourself achieving these impossible things. I'll give you an example. In the past, I've written down like just certain things that I wanted, like I wanted certain decks or whatever, and I would just put it aside because I already had like 3 projects at a time, and I was like, I'll get to it later. And then like later on, like someone would give me that kind of deck as a gift, and I actually found one of those pieces of paper a few days ago, and I was like, wow, I've actually been given each of these decks that I wanted, that I was going to create myself, but someone's already created them and they've been gifted to me. Like, you should realize that everything you think and do, in a way, does kind of all get tied together. If you believe that this isn't going to go well, it's not going to go well. 1, because you don't believe it'll go well. 2, you're not giving yourself any ideas to make it go well. And 3, there's always law of cause and effect, which is everything you do causes something to happen. It affects the world around you. Your thoughts equal your reality. If you believe that you're going to have a shit day, you're going to have a shit day because you've already decided. Like, you could say to yourself, I'm going to have a shit day, and every person who comes up to you could give you a flower, but it's not the flower that you want. So you're like, oh, I'm still having a shit day. Like, you're being asked to look at the fact that you are a beautiful blessing and that you have the potential, or you wouldn't be given possibilities. You're only as great as you think you are. You need to think you're greater than you really are to achieve greater things. And I'm saying this kind of roughly, kind of brashly. So I would say you're someone who is really hard on yourself. And maybe you're one of those people. I used to be like this. I used to get told do it right or don't do it at all. Even as a kid, even at work. And so I instilled that in myself. And then one day I felt terrible. And I felt like I did a terrible job at work. And I had complete mental breakdown. Like, I get emotional talking about it because it really hit me hard, because I put so much effort and I still felt like I failed. And at the end of the day, I was like, did you try? And I was like, yeah, I tried, but I didn't try good enough. And then I was like, that's it, then you fucking tried your best, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, I really tried my best. I really did. And I started breaking down in tears, and I'm like, that's all you have to do is try. So what if you felt like it wasn't your best? You know it was your best. Why are you being so mean to yourself? Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Don't give up. Even when you have nothing left, keep trying. Because one day you're going to be like, I did my best and I did so amazing. And you're going to be so happy that you didn't let it beat you, no matter how bad you felt about yourself, no matter how much you shit on yourself in the past. You should just be proud of yourself for trying. I don't know who this message is for, but you got me in my feels and it's annoying. Because you're bringing up things in me that really hurt. So you must be really hurting. You must be feeling really less than. And I'm so sorry that you haven't healed that in you yet. That you don't realize. Just fucking try your best. And that's all you can do. And don't try your best thinking negatively. Try your best hoping. Put your intention out there as, I may not do as well as I think I can, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to do my best because I want to create my best, no matter what that looks like for anyone else. Even if at the end of the day I'm not completely satisfied, it's okay because I'm trying. That's all you can do in this world is try. Your best is not anyone else's best. And perfectionism, there's no such thing as perfect. If there were perfection in the world, there wouldn't be air pollution clouds. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, you'll look at a cloud and be like, oh, that looks so cute. It's like a unicorn. And then you're like, oh, it's a pollution cloud, not a real cloud. Like, I don't know why I'm getting that analogy for you, but like, I feel like you're a person who maybe paints roses red for others. Like, you see someone do something you can't, so you think they're way cooler than you. Rather than focusing on the things you can do, you're worried about the things you can't do. Don't worry about what you can or can't do. Just try to do things and see what happens. And then ask yourself, did you try your best? If your answer is no, ask yourself why. And the answer will either be, well, I didn't think I could, I gave up. Or, I just wasn't feeling my best, so I couldn't give my best. Either way, there is no wrong answer. But that will tell you where your head was at and whether or not you already believed you would fail. Like, if you don't feel well, you're not going to give your best. You don't feel well. You're not even in the right mindset mentally, let alone physically. Like, your body is a temple to be worshipped, to be loved, to be taken care of. You only get the one body. You have to buy replacement parts if you mess it up, you know? Trust me. I have a lot of family members who've had surgeries, etc. I've seen them once you get one surgery, you have to keep getting them. Your mind, body, and soul are the exact same way. If you keep wounding it, you're going to have to keep giving it surgery over and over. And the worse you are to yourself, the more surgery you're going to have to give yourself. That is the most practical way I can put it. So stop ripping yourself open, stop ripping yourself into pieces, and work on sewing yourself up and telling yourself you're trying your best. And as I say that, I'm looking at my Nightmare Before Christmas picture with Sally. I'm seeing that image where like Sally sews herself up. I think I have a tarot card with that where she's like literally sewing herself up. I want to say it's like the Four of Needles, if I remember right. Here we go. Pick up the pieces. Look. No matter how destroyed you think you are, or how much you think, I'm going to leave that there, or how destroyed you think you are, it's only because you choose to stay stuck in that energy. I need you to reset your mind, reset your energy. I highly recommend that when you go to sleep, either listen to subliminals with rain or, just regular music. I recommend celestial subliminals. They have positive affirmations for success, things like that. They have rain versions, And they also have versions where it's music. Now, what are subliminals? It is reprogramming the mind consciousness. And, they'll actually put in there, all the affirmations. They put in their subliminals, etc. In fact, you can pay them if you choose to. I just listen to the free ones because they work for me, but subliminals have really changed my life. They've really helped me develop a better mindset, along with me putting like daily affirmations everywhere throughout my house. And every morning I come up with a new affirmation for myself. Every day you wake up, I want you to create a beautiful affirmation for yourself. If you don't want to do subliminals, that's fine, but I just recommend them because I find them helpful. And I gave you one that I use personally and I recommend. So that's Celestial Subliminals on YouTube. And like I said, if you want to pay them and make a personal request, you can. If you want to create your own affirmations, whatever. Like, every day I want you to give yourself a new affirmation regardless. Tomorrow your affirmation could be, I am powerful. And I want you to say that to yourself all day long. I'm powerful, I'm powerful, I'm powerful, I'm powerful, especially when you feel low. Next day you could say, I make things possible, I make things possible. Start simple. And then one day make your affirmation, I am fucking amazing. And just say that to yourself all day long. Change your mindset. The knowledge to give you inner strength is to talk to yourself in a way that gives you strength. Take better care of your mind, your soul, your body. Nourish yourself more. That is the knowledge that will give you inner strength. Number 2, many blessings. I'm actually going to get some tea after that one. Alright, my goal is achieved. I have my tea I'm now addicted to. Milk. Half black tea and sugar. I've just been addicted to this lately. I don't even know why. Just all of a sudden I started craving it and that was it. That's all I want to drink now. That's all that sounds good. Sorry about that. I was like so wicked thirsty after that pile. So I could tell pile 2 was like starving themselves of love, and they have this giant thirst for it, and just like my body as an empath was reacting to that mad hardcore. A few sips of this and I'll be good to go. Yep, I've shifted back into positivity. Better. Much better. Because I don't want that energy to affect number 3's reading. Number 2 was heavy. In fact, we're just gonna run these cards through some incense. I know we haven't done it yet for number 3, but yeah. Okay. So we're going to see what knowledge will give you inner strength. Number 3. First, I will shuffle. I almost said shuffle. Sorry guys, I don't feel well today. I have a messed up rotator cuff. So if my mind isn't all there today, It's just because I'm in a lot of pain. I'm not on any kind of medication or anything. I just don't feel good. So I would apologize, but I'm not going to because I'm doing the best I can. At least I'm here. At least I'm showing up. I could have just been like, I don't want to. I almost did. But then I was like, I want to help people even if I don't feel good. So maybe there's a message for you in there. Number 3, I don't know why I told you that and no one else. You might be a healer, number 3. You might already have a lot of knowledge and a lot of inner strength, and even when you feel as though you don't have enough, you still give to others. Like you're just a very giving and healing soul. That's what I'm going to pick up on you for number 3, because I was like, okay, I can go ahead and get a drink. Okay, I can, talk freely, and it's okay. Like, you have naturally healing and comforting energy. Because I read everything. I read the things I do, the things I see. Energy is forever shifting. I see a lot of things aren't there as well. I think you do too. I've been told to recommend this to you. If you don't like milk and you love black tea, make your black tea, put a little bit of milk in it, and trick yourself into drinking more milk. That message was for someone very specific. But I don't really drink coffee or anything like that, but I love tea. Although I know it's not super good for you, and I really don't like milk, and just one day I started craving this. So every day I get my tea and I get milk. So it evens out a bit. Alright, enough jibber jabber. So I'm going to shuffle 7 times for me to connect to the divine, and 7 times for you to connect to the divine. Just shuffling first. Feel like you're someone who knows how to steal their mind and knows when to set in meditation. I say that because my mind reset and I took a deep breath and I was ready for a meditative state. So you could be heavily meditating a lot more recently. Okay, now you can give me the messages. What will give number 3 knowledge to their inner strength? No cards came out. I'll give you the bottom of the deck energy. This means that you already have inner strength and you already have the knowledge, like I already said. Manifestation. Are you a master manifester? Manifestation. Be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life. Now write it down on paper. Manifestation, step 1. You've not been given any cards. And I've been able to read you quite clearly since we've first begun. You are able to hear and see things others do not. I'm being shown automatic writing ability or whatever. I didn't even realize that was a psychic gift until like I saw someone kind of, I don't want to say they were bragging about it, but they were just like, this is another one of my psychic skills, and I was like, isn't it like anytime you write and it's a creation of your own mind, isn't that automatic writing anyway because you're channeling something? Everyone has that ability. That's kind of how I felt about it. And that's not to snub anyone in any particular way, but it just goes to show you that people like me are just like, oh, I do that too. I didn't realize that was like a skill. I just was like, well, you're supposed to be able to do that. It's like some people really admire their skills. Like this person who was like, oh, I have automatic writing abilities. I was like, oh, you're really proud of that. And I was like, how come I was like, it's no big deal? And then I was thinking, is it because like I'm just that humble, or I just have a lot of skills and I take them for granted? I was just like, what's up with that? And I've actually been told by a lot of people, they're just like, you're really humble. And I'm like, no, it's not that I'm humble. It's just we all have the same capabilities, just in our own way. Like, I had this one person who was like, wow, you get done at work really fast. You work really hard. And I'm like, that's because I want to get done and leave. Like, the work I do for a living, it's good and all, but it's not what I want to do all the time in my free time. Yeah, I'm going to hurry up and do my best and get my job done. And then they were just like, well, when I work with certain people, you know, we never go that fast. And I literally looked at this person deadpan and I said, well, you must not really want to leave then. Like, I was just like, it's that simple to me. I didn't understand, like, I could tell they were trying to give me a compliment or whatever. Or, you know, they thought it was cool that I had that drive, but it's like, I feel like you know this, number 3. Drive doesn't just come to you. Motivation doesn't just come to you. You make it happen. like today, I feel terrible. I have felt terrible for the past 3-4 days. I tore like either a muscle or something. Like I messed up my rotator cuff, and I have a really physical job, and I've just been pushing through it. I haven't been whining or really complaining much at all. I'm actually really quiet and just doing my best, and I'm over there working harder than some people who are not in pain, who aren't having any issues. And I'm just like, it just goes to show you that, one, I'm hella stubborn. Because, you know, some people will be like, no, I'm not going to work, this, that, and the other. I'm like, why? I'm capable. Is painful, yeah, but I've been in more pain and worked through it. And some people could be like, oh, that's so unhealthy, or that's so that is your opinion. Now, if, you know, I had just had surgery and the doctor was like, hey, don't use that shoulder. Sorry for showing you my shoulder so much. That's kind of central. My bad. Just realized that. I could trigger some people. I apologize. That was being shown to me. I'm sorry if that triggered somebody. I was just trying to show where that was located on your body. I was trying to be informative. I forget sometimes. I'm a very open book. And I don't always think about people's sensitivities because I don't really have any. Like, don't get me wrong, you can hurt me real easily, but I'm the kind of person who can detach really easily because I was really traumatized as a child. Like, family life and school life and socially, none of it ever went well for me as a kid. And what's funny is I was actually, like, in elementary school, I was actually a popular kid, but one, I was a terrible jerk, and two, a lot of people, really, as many people liked me as they dishated me. Dishated? That's not a word. A lot of people disliked and hated me as much as they liked me. I'm the type of person where you really either you're gonna hate the shit out of me or you're really gonna love me. But you know the best part about me is I don't care either way. I really don't. Because if I see something I don't like, I'm just like, you no longer exist in my reality. You're dead to me. You're obsessed, just let it go. And I don't say that to people because, you know, people like to feel important. And I will treat you like you're important. Like, I'm the best mother freaking hype person that there is. That's why people love being friends with me. That's why they love being around me. I got that good energy. And even when I don't feel good, I try to make other people feel good. Like, give you an easy example. This morning or whatever, someone said, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'd be better. And I know you would too if they gave us more pay. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, we used to be a big deal back during COVID. We used to be like heroes or whatever. Now we're zeros. Got that extra pay or whatever taken away. And they were like, yeah. And it was just like me trying to remind them, remember, despite the fact that you may not like the way you're getting treated at your job, you've still always been doing the same job regardless of how people treat you or regardless of your status in life. Like, I have a tendency to put that kind of perspective with people. Hi, Fluffy Nugget. I hear you over there. That's what I call Lollipop. Her nickname is Fluffy, and Fluffy Nugget, and Floof. Oh, she got up for that one. And Chicken. Hi, Chicken. If you want to know why Chicken, she's terrified of thunderstorms. Hi, Chicken. Bark, bark. No. She's an older girl. I've known her a long time. Yeah. Since your reading's done, and we're just chit-chatting, I'll tell you how I got her. I ended up, how shall I put this? At the time, I had gotten her when I had a boyfriend, and he had a house, and he decided he was keeping her. And I said to myself, do I want freedom from this person, or do I want my dog? And I chose freedom. And somehow I ended up with both. So I ended up getting my freedom, and now I get to see my dog again. Although she's not mine anymore, because that day I had to let her go, and I let her go. Now, it was really painful. It was very painful. I kept wanting to see her, and that person kept ignoring all my attempts to see her, even though I raised her. But how I got her was I had a customer who came in all the time, and one day she told me about how she had gotten this puppy for her kids, and she was like, I don't really have time to, you know, take care of the puppy and do all this other stuff, because she was going to school. She had a couple of kids and she was married and they both worked really hard. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take the dog. So I met her up. I took the dog and everything. I got really attached to her. She was really sweet. The sad part of that story actually is that person, I want to say after a few months, she's like, hey, can I get the dog back? And I was like, you told me it was too much, that you didn't have the time. Apparently, she let her children pick out this dog, gave it to someone else, and didn't ask the children or her husband if she could get rid of it. She just kind of gave me everything. And I'm gonna be honest, like, it really shocked me that someone would do that. So she actually tried to make me feel really bad, and I felt really guilty. And at first I was like, well, maybe I guess I can give you the dog. But as soon as I got home, because she showed up to my work basically begging for the dog back, and she even had me hear like her children crying on the phone how they wanted their dog. Basically, she tried to make me feel guilty for something she had done. And she wanted me to fix her mistake. But as soon as I got home and I saw her, I called her and I said, I'm sorry, I know I said I think I can give you her back, but I can't. I've fallen in love with her. I've already given her a name, I've given her a home, I've bought her all these sweet little squeaky toys, like, and there's a big part of me that said, you know, you gave her to basically a complete stranger, and you gave her up with no thought of repercussion or anything. And I thought, why give something so precious and beautiful back to someone who didn't want it in the first place? When you really want something, you won't give it up easily. So every time I saw her after that, it was really awkward. I actually told her she could let her kids play with the dog and spend time with it, and she did that like once. She let them do that like once. They were actually really rough with her. I felt bad for her because the mom wasn't really... It's so weird. They were really polite kids in public and stuff, but when it came to this puppy, they were so rough with her and whatnot, and I was like, I really saved you. Like, it's weird how society teaches people to be polite with people, but when it comes to animals, it's like, oh, it's wild, it's instinctual, it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't matter. Like, if a puppy cries out because you've heard it, you should pause, you should stop and be like, oh, I'm sorry, are you okay? If the puppy limps, it's clearly not okay. Which, that didn't happen, like, the puppy didn't start limping or whatever, but she would, like, run away faster and faster to outrun them because they would, like, try to tackle her, and I'm like, she's literally this big, and you're, like, I want to say they were, like, 10, like, they weren't super young, but they weren't super old, and I'm like, you're too big for that, like, you can't be tackling this little baby girl like that. So that was kind of shaky waters, but, like, it amazes me even to this day how she wanted me to feel ashamed of not giving back something that she didn't want, that she didn't see value in. She didn't want to face the repercussions of her actions, and from that point on, she never really spoke to me. She never really had anything to do with me. It's like she was mad at me for her bad decision. And I think I'm telling you this story because just because other people don't recognize your knowledge or your inner strength, it doesn't go unseen by the universe, and it doesn't go unseen by those that you really help. That is your knowledge to give you inner strength. That was a very personal story I just shared. And I'm not telling that story from a wounded place or a hurt place or with any ill intentions towards the people involved in that story. I just felt called to tell you, you see value in things other people never will. You see knowledge in places where people think there is nothing to be learned. You see things that aren't there. You know things that most people don't even ever fathom, ever see, let alone think of or are grateful for. You come across to me, number 3, as someone who is grateful and thankful for everything, and you realize everything has a purpose. Even if that purpose isn't already always revealed to you. Like back then, for a long time, I was actually like, I feel so bad for those kids and for, the husband that they got their dog taken away. Basically, they were at school, he was at work, and that's when she got rid of the dog. And then, like, the very next day, she was begging for it back or whatever. And for a long time, I part of me felt bad. I was like, those poor kids and poor husband. And then I was just like, at the same time, I was always like, it's not your fault that you picked up something that was cast out. And you shouldn't give up something so easily like they did. Like, if you just give it back to them, they could easily just give her away again. Like, you're gonna love her, protect her, treat her like she's precious. You're so much more deserving. You would never give her away. Not unless someone made you or gave you a real reason to. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really hard listening to, like, children cry and scream over the phone about their dog that's been given away. But at the same time, I was like, I didn't do this. Stop trying to make me feel bad. Like, I didn't do it. You did this. Like, it's not my fault you feel like a bad parent. It's not my fault that you were selfish. Like, and that's not to be ugly or rude to that person or cast blame on them. It's just someone who was probably just really overwhelmed with life. And they were just like, this is one more thing on my plate. I'm already working. I'm already going to school. I've got kids. I've got a husband. Like, I've got all these responsibilities, and now I've got this too. Like, honestly, I figured she gave me the animal because she was so overwhelmed and she couldn't handle any more on her plate. And I think a part of her maybe only brought the animal in to try and take some off her plate, that way she wouldn't have to give, like, maybe the husband or the kids as much attention. They could put more attention on the dog. But there's also, like, a lot of, a puppy is a lot to care for. So it's like, you win one battle, you lose another. Like, yeah, you don't have to constantly give them attention, this, that, and the other, but you're constantly going to have to clean up after this puppy because they're not going to want to, blah, blah, blah. Like, I understand all perspectives. I understand mine and theirs. That's why I say I don't blame them. I'm not speaking from an ill place when I tell this story, because I can imagine what it would be like to get an animal, have to make dinner, have to work a job, going to college, have a couple of kids, and having to like clean house, do dinner, everything. Because honestly, like I've kind of been there, I've done that. One of my relationships, I worked part-time in the beginning, and I did like all the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, all of that. And they were used to their parent doing that for them. So it was kind of, and I like doing those things. So they were like, oh, well, I'm already used to this and you're okay with this. But then I ended up getting a full-time job and I ended up being too exhausted to do all those things. And it ended up causing a lot of issues in a relationship. I mean, that wasn't the only issue, don't get me wrong, but I know what it's like to, and I wasn't even married, I didn't even have kids, whatever. And this was like years ago. But I have been there where you're like 2 steps away from a mental breakdown because you're working full time, you're doing all this cleaning, you're doing all this cooking, and this, that, and the other. Now, I'm a beast. I work full time. I do this kind of stuff as a side hustle, and like I cook and clean and stuff, but I pick certain days, certain times, and if I don't feel well, I used to not be as nice to myself as I am now. I take the time and rest. I almost didn't share all this. I thought, why am I doing this? And then I told myself the reason why I'm doing this is because, one, everyone has stories like this, and two, I wouldn't be giving this kind of information if someone didn't need to hear it. When we move our mouths and we don't always know the reason why, don't question the reason, realize that it happened for a reason. And that's when you realize you're flowing with the divine, and that the divine works through you. Like, if you say stuff that doesn't make sense and you're not even sure why, and you know it's not from a wounded place or anything like that, that is your divinity being channeled through you. That's you flowing through life. That's you not thinking but just moving with existence. And I say that to you, number 3, because I feel like maybe you needed a better understanding of how you're possibly flowing into the world right now. I don't know why they keep wanting me to do this like a snake. They want you to keep shedding your skin and moving with grace and ease and flowing with the ebbs and waves. And though you may not always understand why you have the knowledge you have, why you have the strength you have, know that it is needed in this world and it was given to you with purpose. And although you may not know this person now, you must have someone coming into your life and you're being prepped for them. It's the best I can come up with on that one. But you may not always know or understand why you do things, and you may never find it out why. The point is to not know everything and to be pleasantly surprised. And even if it isn't always a good surprise, sometimes you need that to remind you that each day and moment is important. And that everything you do, not only you remember, but so does everyone else. I would say that that's your overall message. I know it took a long time to get that out, number 3. But I wasn't given any cards. I was just told to go with it, and I did. I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever I channel, I don't remember any of it. That's why I'm glad it's recorded, and like I'll rewatch it, because I might remember a few bits and pieces or something that really shocked me or really made me feel something. But every time I ever channel, every time I do tarot, automatic, any time I use any kind of psychic anything, I don't remember any of it. I guess it's because I'm just so tapped into both dimensions that there's all this information, and my little brain or whatever is just like push, pull, push, pull. But I can tell you certain characters and certain movie names and quotes, so go figure. I wonder what the purpose of that one is. Can't remember a 3-hour reading I did, but I can certainly remember Sailor Moon's line from like 20 years ago when I was a child. She's still my hero, by the way. I was going to tell you another story, but I'm really tired of talking about me. I'm not really the type to talk about myself. Not that I find myself boring, you see, just there's so many more fun things to do with your time rather than listening to the ramblings of someone else's life. So you can go live yours to the fullest rather than hear about my past and how I have lived. You can figure out how you want to continue to live and how you will live in the future. Keep using all your knowledge and your inner strength, and keep master manifesting. Keep doing it. This is a sign that you are manifesting exactly the way you're supposed to. Which is magic. You are magical. Number 3. You have everything you need. Just love on yourself more and know you're a miracle. That's your biggest knowledge to give you more inner strength. And if you need signs, ask for them. Guarantee you'll get a billion of them today. Let's do this together. Please give us a sign that we have the knowledge, we have the inner strength, and that we are this beautiful magical creature. I'm saying that for me too. Just to see what happens. It's always fun. But yeah, say that today. See how many fun things you get. Feel free to let me know about it. I'd be curious. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. If you don't tell me yours, then you don't need to know mine. Let's be playful and have fun. Number 3. Why not? I think it'd be fun. And don't mention what it's about. Just say, signs I received, this, that, and the other. It'll be our little secret. And if someone happened to watch all of this, you are someone who wants to know everything, and I just want you to know, you can watch the whole video and still be confused. I've done that. I have done that. I've watched the tarot reading and I decided to listen to all of it. And like one thing resonated, and I was like asking myself, why did you listen to that? Why did you watch all that? And I was like, because I wanted to know everyone's perspective and everyone's story. So if I ever come across anything related to that, I may or may not already have the situation figured out. But it also is taking up a lot of your time. So you can either live the curious way or live the knowledgeable way, or kind of mix it up and do both. You never know. But I'm going to end it here. Many blessings. Number 3. Many blessings to all. Tongue drum. For this message was knowledge to give you inner strength. If you would like a personal reading, they are $88.88. Number of infinite abundance. 88 for me. 88 for you. Infinite abundance to us all. Many blessings to all. Just email me at magigoddesstarot@gmail.com. And look forward to the next one.